Hello everyone, welcome back to Stock Spy. Today we are shining spotlight on Firefly Aerospace and asking the question: it's down roughly 40% since the launch. Is it worth buying now? I'll walk you through the narrative, key facts, risks, and give my recommendation as a cautious investor. Firefly Aerospace entered public market with considerable fanfare. Their mission is to become a serious player in the new space race of launch vehicles, lunar lander, and orbital services. They executed a successful lunar landing with their Blue Ghost lander in March 2025, positioning themselves with contracts for lunar payloads and backlog of launch services. On the IPO front, they raised about US $868 million when priced at $45 a share, and the initial trading saw significant upside, almost reaching $60, reflecting the excitement. However, since then the stock has pulled back significantly and the honeymoon seemed to be over. So what's working for them? They have a strong backlog. They claim over $1 billion in backlog for launch services and lunar payloads. They have specialization in the field and a first mover credibility. They achieved a commercial soft landing on the moon, which is a meaningful milestone for a private space company. Analysts are optimists. Some of them even rate them as a buy with a 12-month price target around $55. So if everything goes right, growing launch demand, their technology executes, lunar space services revenue ramps, and valuation stays reasonable, there is definitely an upside. But there are also risks. They have massive losses and the business model itself is unproven. They are still significantly unprofitable. For example, in Q2 2025, the company lost around $80 million. Their valuation is also higher and the revenue is still modest relative to the size of the business and all promises. Not to mention the execution and technical risks. Their Alpha rockets has failed. One of the flights didn't reach the orbit, leading the FAA to temporarily halt launches. Space business itself is inherently risky. Cost overruns, delayed missions, failures, all hit investor sentiments. There is also stock volatility. The stock is highly volatile and still very much in the new listing hype territory. The market is discounting a lot of ifs. If launches hit, if revenue grows, if margins improve, if they don't, risk is large. So, is it worth buying now? Here is my verdict. I'm not jumping in aggressively. I will say this is a watch list opportunity with a selective entry only, not a full throttle buy for a cautious investor like me. But why is the stance? Because when the upside is compelling, the risk is also higher, both execution and valuation risks. For me, being cautious means I would consider buying a small portion maybe, and it's only if I believe they can execute this 2-3 launches without major mishaps and show revenue progression. I would want to see proof of concept and improved financials before making a larger commitment. If I did buy now, I'll treat it like a high risk speculative stake, not a core holding. Think if it hits, great. If it fails, I'm okay losing most of the small bet. So if I were choosing today, I might buy a modest position, let's say 2 to 3% of my portfolio or even lesser. If price is near current levels, only if it aligns with my risk appetite and I'm comfortable with the potential big swing. If I don't see improved execution or clearer path to profitability in the next 12 months, let's say, I would like to exit. So the bottom line is not a full buy in my portfolio today, but I'm not avoiding it completely either. I'll keep a watch closely, perhaps buy small, and revisit after a successful launch or a quarter. That's my idea. Thanks a lot for watching.